Welcome back to Viking Football with Bruce Barnum as the Vikings get ready for the UC Davis Aggies this week. Portland State goes back on the road for the first time in 4 weeks. The Vikings playing a 4 p.m. game this Saturday. It's not televised, but you can watch the live stream at govikes.com. You can also listen to it on Rip City Radio this Saturday afternoon. Coach, will address last Saturday's game, a really difficult loss, 56-49 in overtime to Northern Colorado. The elephant in the room is the overturned call at the end of the game. So we'll talk about that real quick. And that had to be something that was, I think it was surprising to everybody in the stadium, not just the Vikings. Kind of made it a tough transition for you guys to get back into things, get a play in there, and try to find a way to score a touchdown.
Yeah, Mike, first off, you don't want to be in that situation. We could have, if we could have played a little better. I mean, they played well in the third quarter. They scored a bunch of points, and then we had to play catch-up. Then, boom, we're in overtime. So, yeah, it was kind of like being left at the altar a little bit on that call. But, hey, we've got a lot of people looking at it, and they made a decision beyond reasonable doubt or any doubt. I believe that's what they say. So, kudos to Northern Colorado. They came in. It came down to that play, and we have one shot after. But the Vikes will be back. Don't worry.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about that second half. Northern Colorado really got it going offensively. Your defense had a little bit of struggles after a pretty good first half. And from my view, maybe it's a situation where that defense, a young defense, needs to find a way maybe to create a few more opportunities in terms of getting stops, turnovers, things like that. How do you see that?
Number one, entertaining game, Mike. You play football like that, people want to watch it. And obviously we came out in the wrong end of the stick, but two parts. First off, Northern Colorado, their quarterback, they came out and they played well. Their offense was lighting it up. Made some great plays. So we were out of maybe some misalignment, some things that weren't used to for whatever reason, tired. But it led to a big, entertaining second half on both sides. A lot of fireworks in that football field in the second half.
Okay, speaking of that, the Vikings, season-high points, 49, season-high total yards, 549. So good offensive production. And I'm going to point to one guy who probably surprised a lot of people and really a great element to add to the offense. Quan Summers finally getting healthy.
It is. He's one of quite a few guys we had back, especially offensively, Mike, last week. But we recruited Quan a few moons ago, and he's finally here. He's finally running. He's finally doing what we knew he could do. So it was fun to watch him play. It's fun to have him back on the team. He's an electric personality that's kind of been, over in the corner, just dealing with some injuries. Really off-the-wall ones, but he's back, he's healthy, and it makes us a better football team.
Okay, now we'll talk about the Aggies a little bit, and a little bit of a interesting look when you break down the numbers on UC Davis. First 5 games of the year, they're giving up over 500 yards a game, over 40 points a game. Last 3 weeks they've played, they've been maybe the best defense in the league, allowing fewer than 300 points, fewer than 300 yards, and fewer than 22 points a game against teams like Cal Poly that can really score points. All of a sudden, that defense is playing really well. What are the challenges you see there?
Mike, I probably should go back and watch those early games because, we watched the last 3 hard. We do watch for our breakdown, and then later in the week we watch the whole season. So they're tough. But it's easy to see why they're playing. I like their personnel, their defense, chaos. Organized chaos is kind of what they throw at you with their fire zone, their different looks. They cut it loose, and they're fun to watch defensively. But the plan came together last night. We're starting to rep it out here today, and it'll be a challenge playing them.
Okay, and then on the offensive side of the football, like just about everybody else in the Big Sky, the Aggies have a really good running back and a real good quarterback. And we'll start with that running back, Manu Samoa Luga, a name Tom Hewitt's going to struggle with this week, I think. He, I believe, is ranked 5th in the Big Sky in rushing and has been a talented player for them for the past few years. How do the Vikes stop that guy?
Again, slow him down. You don't stop him. their scheme offensively. They're going to run the football. They get into some 21 personnel, and they run some traditional power, and then they'll spread it out. But both kids talented. I like how they are up front. So I see it as I wouldn't say even matchup, but because they're at home, and I think there's video review, so it's going to be a fun football game.
And one other thing the Aggies have done a pretty good job of, something the Vikings have struggled with this year, and that's turnover margin. They've forced quite a few. They've only turned it over 9 times. The Vikings have been in a negative turnover margin situation. Obviously, turnovers in any game, but maybe in particular this one, important.
They are every week, Mike. Last week we turned the football over twice, and they scored 10 points off of it. So turnovers are an issue right now with us on offense. We've addressed it. We talked about it again this week, and we addressed it again this morning on the practice field. So we have to clean turnovers up, and we're working on it. And it's something. It's part of the game that right now is biting us in the rump.
Okay, Vikings are going to get on the bus. It's been a while. I'm sure the guys are thrilled to get back out there on the bus. Long drive, in fact, leaving later on Thursday to get down there for the Saturday game after practice Thursday. What's the movie lineup?
Well, first off, the buses are easy. More people would probably do this, Mike, if they knew my trick. You feed them a ton of food when they.
There's no question about that. When I've been on the bus, I gain about 5 pounds.
And they fall asleep, and they wake up in Sacramento or whoever the hell we're playing. So this week, the only thing I heard for sure is Animal House. We'll be on all 3 buses to start. Little Belushi, in fact, kind of an old school. Show them how college used to be when you and I went to college.
All right, well, hopefully they enjoy the movie. They don't replicate the behavior. Vikings, once again, this week on the road at UC Davis, Portland State, playing a 4 p.m. Saturday game. Get all the information at govikes.com.